Hello gamers, we are back with another Evermore devlog video. Today we are, doing a short character study of EC the Dragon Slayer. Let's start with her formal introduction. Archmage EC of the Western Plains. A pleasure to be at your service. There were two things wrong with this statement. 1. She did not consider it a pleasure to be in anyone's service. But these were the words she was told to say. 2. Although she hailed from a small village to the west that was sadly no longer in existence, in fact, she was now the property of Evermore, and had no real autonomy outside of her orders from Princess Adelaide. 3. Her title suggested that some sort of respect ought to be given her, but in reality she was more of a glorified babysitter for the princess, who for some reason did not grow up with the services of a governess, and was thus sorely lacking in manners and royal etiquette. The last one had just occurred to her, so the count of displeasing implications in her formal introduction had now risen to 3. Joyous day. 4. It didn't help that Adelaide was the sort of princess with unhealthy inclinations towards the vulnerable subjects in her charge. EC could do this all day, but it was wise to stop here. So on the left here I have just maybe like a short excerpt of what the web novel might look like. I don't know yet, but what we're going to do soon is we're actually going to start working on the official character art for her, which is going to be great because she'll be one of the main heroines. So as you can see, she's like kind of, I don't know, the old grumpy type, likes to complain a lot. Anyways, let's talk about her relationships with the other characters here and why it sucks to be her, because her predicament is that she is surrounded by people she hates, but she cannot possibly hate all of them at one time. She is not that powerful. So in order to get revenge on someone, she has to ally with someone else. So let's start with let's just start in the top top left here. Yes, as you can see, we have 4 characters that she is at odds with. Here's Prince Henry of Emberglow. If you remember the map, it's like it's kind of over here, right? It's like to the west. Princess Layla of the Elven Kingdom to the north. Princess Adelaide of Evermore, of course, it's in the center of the map. And then Darmek Patan used to have some influence over West Front, which is also kind of in the west. So let's start with Prince Henry. So why does she hate Prince Henry? Well, basically, he killed her parents. Well, it's complicated. Anyways, let's leave it at that. I think that's a valid reason. Okay, here, second reason. Princess Layla. So this is her former boss. Yeah, basically, you could say that Layla betrayed her, but I don't know. Let's just say Layla threw her under the bus, okay? So I think that's valid. Okay, third. Darmek Patan, the main character, or protagonist. Why does she hate you? It's because you're not very nice to her. In fact, like you have like let's just put it that way. You weren't very nice to her. Then lastly is Princess Adelaide, her new boss. Why does she hate her? Pretty much for the same reason. She's not very nice to her. Like, it's probably deeper than that, but that's about the gist of it. So there you go. That is why it sucks to be Archmage EC in this world. But about her arc, basically her arc overall is, let me write it down actually so I know. Here's the main thing about her arc. It's about a magician, an archmage that gives up magic. Right, and this is an interesting contradiction, right? I think I was watching some videos that says like the best, conflict or plotline. It's just to have an inherent contradiction in the character. So why would this elf that lived for hundreds, or thousands of years, however long, why would she want to give up magic? Well, so I think it's pretty typical that every magic system has a cost, and this one is pretty high. I think it's kind of overused, but let's say it causes you to lose your memories, to forget who you really are, forget your true identity, and forget the truth about yourself. So, it's like that Spider-Man saying, right? Great power comes great responsibility, or great power comes a great cost. So why might she want to give up magic? Well, if she wants to just take revenge on people, I think she's going to need it, right? So at the same time, I think she'll kind of have to also give up her revenge as well. She won't be able to get revenge on people, or if she does, she has to entrust her vengeance to someone else. It's like, what's the Bible verse? It's like, vengeance is mine, I will repay, right? Like, vengeance is mine and recompense, that kind of thing. So, if she gives it up, she's trusting that someone else will carry out justice on, one of these characters. Probably this guy, right? Because he's the worst out of them, I guess. I don't know. Arguably, they're all pretty bad. But, let's say everyone has a chance to redeem themselves, and this Henry guy does not take it. Let's say the rest of the three, they kind of redeem themselves to various degrees, but it's a work in progress kind of thing. Actually, let's go over what each character wants from her. Why do they want a piece of her? Let's start from top left again. So what does Prince Henry want? Well, as a powerful military asset, I would say that he's scared. So he needs to do something about her. So what he's going to do is he's going to try to send assassins to kill her. So you'll see how that goes. But Princess Layla, what does she want? Honestly, Princess Layla just wants to use EC to get closer to Princess Adelaide. So she's just like a tool in her tool belt. Okay, 3. What does Darmek Batan want? Well, Darmek is just a lonely guy, and he is just looking for female company. So that's what he wants. It's very basic, very simple, and that's not what she's into. 4. What does Princess Adelaide want? It's kind of similar to Darmek, but it's a bit more layered than that. She also wants protection. She just wants protection from Prince Henry, who's coming to invade her. So EC is basically the only thing, not the only thing, but one of the only things between Princess Adelaide and Prince Henry. The only thing between her freedom and her own. What's the opposite of freedom? Give me a word. Yeah, whatever the opposite of freedom is. So yeah, that's what basically all of them want. I watched a video that said, if you want to write good politics, basically you just need to have cogs. All the cogs got to connect. In this case, EC is the center cog between these 4 cogs, and they all want her, and they all can't get her. So only I don't know. You would think only one of them can have her, or does she decide to make her own choice about what she wants? So I think that's the main conflict about this character throughout the story. That's why she's one of the main heroines, I think. As a military asset, she has some importance, but also just as someone who actually has free will, although she is obligated to follow orders because of her situation. I think it's kind of meant to be a stand for everyone who feels they're being pulled this way and that way. What are you going to choose to do with your life? Will you choose to do something good or do something bad? Will you choose to love and forgive, or will you choose to take revenge? Like, I think it brings me back to that saying that I showed earlier. It's like, I lay before you life and death, a blessing and a curse, right? And I think it goes like, obey the commandments that you may live, right? That you may not be cursed. Something like that. I'll put it on the screen. But I think that's kind of like, I don't know. There's a lot of themes in the game, but I think that's one of them. I think that's one of the benefits of the visual novel medium that you don't get. So I think for the web novel, we're going to probably show the canon good ending, because that will lead into the sequel. So the canon good ending where, she forgives all these three stupid stooges, and she gets her revenge on Prince Henry indirectly by having someone else come in and take care of him. But like having that trust in someone else to really take care of something that you personally care about, especially if it concerns something so important, it's a challenge. And I think, this is where she will be tested. This is where her loyalty will be tested, like her loyalty to, herself, or, a higher power, or, her loyalty to like her inner goodness versus like, just like whatever, right? Let's just get things done kind of mindset. So I'm rambling, but I will let editor me cut this. Yeah, but I did not script this video, so I think I'll end it here. See you in the next one.